Wow, very good morning to you from Hungary. It's the final round of the season. We're live, we're here. We're at the stop line of the third stage of the morning, and you have to really forgive the clothing setup and the waterproof rustling sound from the start list this morning, because it is it's wet. We knew the rain was going to come today. Chris has got rain on his camera lens already. Do you want me to help you sort that out, Chris? But we're here. It's pouring down. This is the final stage of the season when it's run later on this afternoon. But at the moment, it's the third stage of the morning, and you can see the water just pouring down here. But later on today, this little section here, this tower, will be the final stop line of the 2019 season. We're going to be crowning our ERC champion here, and we've talked about it on Facebook, we've talked about it on ERC radio. If Chris Ingram, who had a bit of a disaster in the morning stage this morning, he was second overnight against Alexei Lukanuk, but if Chris Ingram wraps up today on the podium, he will become the first British ERC champion for 53 years, something that he's been gunning for ever since he was a small child, ever since we first saw him coming in as a young hot kid driving the Renault Twingo in the Circuit of Ireland a few years ago. He was small, he was fast, and won the Colin McRae Flat Out Trophy just for his efforts in his early career on the ERC. That's all going to happen later on today. In the first stage of this morning today, Chris had a massive slide, massive wide, and stalled the car and lost a bit of time. Also, in a puncture in the last stage before this one, picked up a front right puncture that they had to change in the stage. Lukanuk caught up with him in that one, and so Lukanuk is still leading the rally. Ingram then slips down to third in the previous stage to here. But look where we are. We've got less fans at the end of this stage than we had yesterday. The timing table is set up in the mud here, and if we swing round, we're in the vineyards. We were live on Facebook here yesterday, but the stage was run in the opposite direction. It caused all sorts of drama, all sorts of issues for everybody, and it's going to be exactly the same today. Reversed it, run in the opposite direction with all the mud that's been pulled out onto the stage yesterday. This rain here that's pouring down here will help to wash some of that gritty stuff off the surface, but you can see here it's really quiet for spectators. Everyone's here. We've got to do the Mexican wave from everybody. Yeah, you see, we've got some people that are enjoying themselves. How are you doing? Everything okay for you?
Everything is okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, quite happy?
Waiting for our driver.
Yeah, that's good, as long as you're waiting for your driver. Who is your driver anyway?
Valencia Adam.
Okay, very good, thank you. Everyone else happy? Everyone's got umbrellas. We haven't got umbrellas. Daniel is wandering around here. He's got himself an umbrella from somewhere, but he's trying to hold it. Let's hide under here with Daniel. He's quite happy. Everything's on, Daniel?
Oh no, it's not so very good. Very bad weather, but it's rally.
It's good. It's rally. Hey, we can't complain. This is what it's all about. All 4 seasons, apart from the hail that we've seen this year on the ERC. Starting out in the Azores, this kind of weather. The last time I wore this poncho was on Saturday afternoon in the Azores at the end of the Tronquera stage, where we had that massive wet tropical storm that came in. Chris is sorting the camera out. Massive wet tropical storm that came in off the Atlantic, and it was blowing and it was rainy and it was wet and it was horrible and it was hard to stand up at the end of the stage. And that was the last time we wore this beautiful thing. At least we're on brand today. We've got ERC. This is kind of a classic. Oh yeah, by the way, the legs, brilliant, aren't they? Yeah. Our theory here at ERC Radio is that it's good to have as little clothing as possible, because then you've got less to get wet if it does start raining. So legs dry a little bit faster than soggy jeans or something like that at the end of the stage. But we're here. There's not really much else to talk about apart from the first few stages. It's wet and slippy out there. Albert von Thurn-Taxis is Albert von Thurn-Taxis is first on the road today, and Paul Loves is after that. Christoph Klaus, who is a regular driver in the ERC, in the ERC3 category and in the juniors, driving in the Hungarian Championship. He's not registered for the ERC event here in Hungary. He's driving an R5 car in the Hungarian Championship. Or should I say he was driving an R5 car in the Hungarian Championship until he crashed on the second stage of the day today, the long one, which is 27 kilometres in length. But the rain pours down here at the stop line. I can see, I get you thinking, Chris. I can understand what's going on. So if we just turn this way a little bit, we keep the rain out of the camera lens, don't we? So, yeah, we could just give that one more wipe. We've got a little bit of, do you want me, is this? I'm going to do everything here. I've got a good face for radio, but not a good face for Facebook Live and YouTube today with this. Okay, right. Helicopter is up in the air, apparently, I'm seeing, but yeah, just the amount of standing water in the stages is unbelievable, and big splashes. Even on the way down here, the drive down here, it was you know, lots of water, lots of puddles everywhere. But since we've been on air, you know, you can see the cloud, the rain cloud has pulled back in again, and it was easing for a bit. It was backing off, but now it's picked up a little bit more. Let's just see what the story is. Right, yeah, we'll just have some news coming into us in a minute, and just trying to work out if there's any information coming through at the moment. There isn't at the stop line. Let's just run through some of the times for you if we can fire those up, but even my phone's not working in this weather. It's good fun though, isn't it? It's really good fun. If we look back to the last round of the ERC a short while ago, you know, we had such beautiful, glorious weather in Cyprus. It was hot, it was sunny, it was dusty, but here we are, it's November. Well, spin round. He's just got a late arrival. Spectators trying to get into park here close as they can to the end of the stage. I'm not sure where they're going across the grass. I think it's one of the guys who tends to the vines here. Let's just spin around if we can, Chris. Don't want to get your camera too wet. Policeman standing in the rain here, but you can see all the grapes or the vines just over there growing quite nicely. They've all been harvested. For the season of growing is finished, so they've all been tended and clipped, and the bunches of grapes all being processed into fine Hungarian wine at the moment, and they'll be available in shops soon, I'm sure. First car's coming, which is great. Let's spin around. Let's try not to get too wet. I'm not sure where we're going to we'll stop. Let's try and stop Albert sort of close-ish to around about here, just so we're close enough to the guys working on the timing table, and it's kind of dry-ish here. Albert von TNT struggling up to 8th in the rally at the moment. Door open. Just look at the muck on the side of this. This is what the ERC is all about. Albert, you're shaking your head already. You said it's a tough rally, tough rally, and opening the road. What was it like?
It's just so many different things. In these 4 stages, in these 3 stages, you really have all of the worst things that you can imagine you don't want to have when you're behind the wheel. Here you have a lot, especially opening up. The road is a V, this concrete wine road, and so the whole road is filled with water. And because the car's slipping around, you're in between aquaplaning and slipping on the mud. So you have this long straight that you're supposed to go flat out, but the car's moving around and it's lifting in aquaplaning, and then you have these cuts. It's for me, I don't know how to drive. It's just about surviving, and I'm a bit frustrated because I feel like I'm taking out too much, but we have to bring this home and be careful. So yeah, I'm being a bit careful.
You're being a bit careful. You said to us yesterday that this is the toughest rally you've ever driven in your career. Is that true, or is that an overstatement?
No, that's it's not at all. It's an understatement. It's the toughest event behind the wheel I've done in my life, without doubt, hands down. And there's so many different aspects to the difficulty, and it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest, for the moment.
Okay, survival. We'll see you here at the end of the day, Albert. Well done. See you later on. There's Albert von Taxi. It's a really nice guy as he comes through, and Prince Albert makes his way out of here through the lights that we will have later on when we wrap up the season. But you see the water, the puddles just splashing as Albert departs the stop line here. So yeah, super soggy stuff this weekend. Super stoggy, which is I mean great to have so many conditions coming through here on the stages. Pal Lovez will be next up. We can hear our helicopter, I think, somewhere. It's flying low in the stages just because of the cloud base is really down. So Manu, who's flying the helicopter with Eric in the back controlling the Cineflex camera, they've got a tough job to try and pick their way through the clouds here to get to the stages from the airport near where the service park is based. But next one comes up towards us. Chris Ingram is having a spin, but losing the front bumper on this one as he comes in. Had an off in the first stage this morning, so missing all the bumper at the front of the car. So first stage off and losing time with that, and losing the rear bumper as well as a result. Wet stuff in Hungarian. How was that one?
Már párásodtunk végig, nem láttunk semmit. Nem is értem, hogy lehet ezen gyorságit rendezni, ez most már durva volt kicsit. Nem, megálltunk konkrétan a gyorságin.
Thanks very much. We're just, obviously, our driver here doesn't speak English, so we're just going to whiz round to the co-driver's side. Big dent for him on this side. I'll just try and throw the microphone through. How was the stage for you?
So it was very difficult for us because of there was a lot of water and we didn't see anything. Our windscreen has fog and we didn't see nothing. This is why we go so slow.
Thank you. And also not being able to open the door because of the impact on the front right from the first test. That's why he's missing the bumper too. So 2 times on the board with the windscreen fogged up on the second car coming through there with a 7 minutes 55.5, 7 minutes 55.5, 7 minutes 13.8 for Albert von Thurn and Taxis. Let's just see if we've got any messages coming through here at the moment. Right, just see. Let's just see what the story is at the moment. Yeah, okay. So we're waiting for Ingram and Lukanuk to come through. Just got some messages coming in to the stop line here. We'll see what the story is with that later on. But we're in the thick of it here at the moment on ERC. But it's no news really at the moment, apart from just standing water, which we'll have on our social media feed coming in. We are going to have a little bit of a gap here because of Christoph Klaus. Norbert Herzig is on his way after that. So the start list today, it doesn't really make any sense to you guys back home because it's scrunched up in a bag. But as we say on the Facebook lives and on our YouTube lives, that yeah, we're right in the thick of it here in the stages. This is the only information we have connecting us at the stage end to you at the outside world. We've got the trying to keep the rain off our start list this morning, and in the other hand, over here, we've got a telephone which is completely wet at the moment, so just struggling with trying to get the phone to work, or the screen to work on the phone. Yeah, so Herzig, as you saw there on screen, is 4 seconds gap between the two of them. Herzig had a moment in that stage that you've just been watching from our helicopter, and as he comes towards us, you know, the water splashing. Herzig is through and in, having a moment in the stage, but no damage as I just do a quick 360 round the car to have a look. A lot of water in the footwell too. Norby, having a moment in that stage we're hearing.
Ooh, it was we had a big moment, and at the brake distance and the long straight, and after the brake on the gravel part, and the engine was stopped, but we could turn this corner. It was extremely slippery, and the water could stay on the road, and the tires couldn't to drive the water. This is the big problem, but we are here, so we are really happy and go on.
And just in Hungarian for everyone else, because we're in Hungary.
Szevasztok srácok, ez eddigi versenynek talán a második legnehezebb szakasza volt. Óriás dolgokat éltünk át, 5-ben lefulladt a motor, felúszott a vízen többször, óriás dolog itt lenni. Ez egy borzasztó nehéz gyorsasági, rengeteget fog rajta mindenki tanulni. Köszönjük a szorítást, megyünk tovább, cél a dobogó.
Okay, thanks very much. Cheers. That is Norbert Herzig. Door closed. Off he goes. So with those wets that he's got, with the full Michelin wets that he's running on, they look like almost like a snow tyre. Normally on a racing tyre on the dry in the tarmac setup, you get a much wider tread pattern to adhere, stick to the road, and so you've got more rubber contact on the road. But because it's so wet here, the Michelin wet is a lot thinner, so it does look a little like it's been squozen onto the wheel rim, and so Norby just struggling also, even with the full wet tyre, to stop the car from aquaplaning in the stage. As you saw there, he had a big moment locking up in that stage. So that is Norbert Herzig through, and as we just whiz round now for Adam Valencina is next up as he comes towards us. Let's just have a quick look. This is Adam. He's not registered in the ERC, but he's slotted in here as he comes towards us in the Citroen. It looks nice in those colours, doesn't it? Kind of look a classical kind of world car in that graphics with the 1919 on the front of it. Let's have a word from Adam. Anyway, see how he is. So steamy on the inside of the windows. Oops, sorry, Kristen. Slammed the wing mirror into his stomach. Adam, how was that one?
Várj, szépari. Nagyon egyszerűek a körülmények. Ahogy így lejt az út, megáll a középen a víz, és felúszkálunk mindenhol.
Thank you. So yeah, just with the adverse camber in the stage, and where the water is pouring into the middle of the stage. Look at the steam coming out the front of the bonnet there, because it's so wet there on the radiator cooling pack there. It's so hot and just instantly vaporizing. Oh, the mud! You see the mud in the middle of the rim, and off he goes. That's Adam through the water splash and out and away. Another wipe of the lens from Chris there, looking good. And just see if we've got any more information coming in at the moment. We'll see what the story is. I think we've got some info coming in at the moment. Let's just try and sort this out. It is right, just trying to work out the Ingram scores at the moment. That's why I was just reading a message coming in there, just trying to work out where Ingram needs to finish and what the point situation is, because of drop scores and other stuff during the season. 8 rounds of the championship, and dropping scores from rallies where you didn't perform particularly well on. We're just trying to work out where Ingram needs to finish to take that title this weekend. Callum Devine is here. A load of muck and mud on the side of the car. You see those Pirelli tyres. He's on the full wets, door open. Callum, your face kind of says it all. So yeah, I mean, tell us all about it. What was the high point? Was there a good bit?
I don't know, like it's you exaggerate sometimes. You need a boat in places, but like there really was it's crazy. I never seen so much water in my life. But I don't know if they run that much more. How, I don't know. Yeah, it's mad.
Why is it? Is there from yesterday with the amount of debris that was pulled out onto the stages? Has that washed away any of the debris with the rain that we've had?
Yeah, like the cuts now where you've been making doesn't really matter no more, because you're going a lot slower. Stay on the road because the water's run down the middle of the tracks here. So you have to just stay on the concrete, because when you hit the water, you just aquaplane, and yeah, it's quite dangerous at times here. But look how we got through it, and yeah.
Was that the toughest stage you've done in your career so far?
Yeah, it's one of them. At least I have no pressure, but no, it's pretty bad.
That's good. All right, cool. Thanks very much. Nice to see you, Callum. Be good. See you later on. Hasn't skirted off into the vines anywhere, but yeah, quite crazy. You can see it's crazy. Just look at the water pouring off the side of it. Callum Devine through and disappears on the road section. You've got a 5-kilometre stage, street stage coming up next before the midpoint service of the day, and then 3 more stages this afternoon. Callum Devine is stood in a big puddle. Callum Devine, 7 minutes 12 seconds. 7 minutes 12 seconds. You don't really want to film these legs. They're not sort of summer ready at the moment because it's November and we're in Hungary and it's the final round of the season. And as we cast our eyes up into the stage, another one comes down towards us at the end of the stage. It is Philip Maris should have been here, but Philip Maris retired on the road section this morning with power steering issues. Frasius Turan is in next. We've got to get a picture in a minute, Chris, of the amount of muck in the back of his car. Rear wheel, Frasius. Everyone's saying it's survival out there with the rain. Is it okay for you, or is it typical Hungarian weather this time of year?
No, it's not typical, and I think this stage is not ready for the next loop because it's unbelievable. It's very dangerous and very too much water splashes. We already went into the field, but we were luckily we can come back. But I think it's very, very dangerous now.
Okay. So what are you going to do about that? Are you going to see what the organisers say, or are you going to mention it to them when you get back to service?
Yeah, we're going back to service now, and no, we have one more stage, but the decision is not ours. We just can say our opinion, but I think this is not good for rallying now.
Okay, that's good. Just some words in Hungarian as well for everybody listening and watching.
Yeah, sziasztok! Nagyon nehéz ez a gyorsaság, le is csúsztunk az útról, köszönet a nézőknek, akik megmutatták, hogy hol tudunk visszajönni a mezőről. Én azt gondolom, hogy ez a pálya most nem alkalmas már versenyzésre, olyan vízátfolyások vannak, hogy nagyon veszélyesé teszi. Itt vagyunk a célba, egész jó az eredményünk eddig, úgyhogy megyünk tovább.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks very much. Chris Ingram is in behind. So Frasius Turan in third in the event, sliding off the road but managing to get in. Let's just pull Ingram down, get Ingram down to the stop line here and see what he has to say to us. Dropping down to third as a result of that spin earlier on. Wait for him to take his helmet off. There's so much water in the bottom of the car. Chris, everyone's saying that the weather's tough, it's wet, there's lots of aquaplaning. What about your run?
Yeah, that was good run actually. Just tried to relax. In the last one we got a punch, I've got no idea how we got it. We just need to keep going and keep cool, but that was good fun.
Really, everyone else has been saying it was just really, really bad with the aquaplaning. You got a lot of water, you got more water in the footwell than you have outside, to be honest.
That is the slippiest, wettest rally stage of all time. And once the road's like this, and the rain's so bad, the middle of the road's just, there's that deep water. It was unbelievable, but the time's good.
It's a bit like the log flume at Alton Towers, is it, in places?
Exactly.
Okay. Exit through the gift shop on the way out. That's where the rally.
Like Manchester is. It's beautiful.
You're used to it being grim up north, aren't you?
And you?
Yeah, no, it's great. We're used to this weather. It's brilliant. Right, see you later on, Chris Ingram. Need to talk to you later about a big ham as well, but we'll get on to that later on. That's Ingram on his way, saying that it's just like Manchester in the UK. And Ingram lives in Manchester, just on the suburbs of Manchester. And from that part of the world, it does rain a lot. So he's kind of used to it. Right, Alexei Lukyanuk here. Brake problems for Lukyanuk this morning. He's through. You see the aquaplaning and the water being pushed off is just popped the bumper out there, and the car is showing signs of almost being pressure washed, and the livery just being peeled off it. Let's see what Alexei has. Alexei just brings the C3 home at the end of the 3 big stages this morning. Alexei struggling all morning with no rear brakes. Have you managed to look at that on the road section, or are you just living and surviving?
No, we live with that. It's really annoying and really dangerous. But I want to say hello to organizers. They should cancel this stage. It's absolutely stupid. It's ridiculous. It's so dangerous, and it's no point to race like that. So we pissed off completely.
Were you on road mode? Were you driving just at road speed through there?
No, of course not, but it's... No, I have nothing to say.
That's okay. Okay, Alexei, we understand your frustration. We'll let you drive back to service, and hopefully the weather will go this afternoon and it'll be warm and sunny and 8 degrees.
Not likely, but let's hope, yeah.
Okay, Good luck. See you later. Enjoy the road section back. That's Lukanuk venting his frustration at the amount of water that's pouring down here on the stages, and saying that it's completely crazy is Lukanuk's words as he exits here. Again, standing water at the end of the stage. So we'll see what happens. When we were looking at the weather forecast this afternoon, we're looking at the weather forecast yesterday for today. It did say that it was going to ease up this afternoon and be a little bit less wet, but apparently not, according to Chris, our cameraman. Do you know what? I give up. I cannot. No info. I cannot get anything to work on. That is completely goosed. I know. ERC radio for our next group of stages. We'll be keeping an eye on the timings from the street stage, which is happening down near the service park, and then we'll be live getting rally reaction from the drivers at the end of the next 3 stages coming up to wrap up the season. And the rain pours down. Alexei Lukanuk with the fastest time through so far with a 6 minutes 49.8, 6:49.8 for Alexei. Chris Ingram 6:51.9. Let's see who's coming up towards us, using the yellow fog lights to slice through the rain here. It's another Citroen coming in. It's, of course, Sean Johnson is next up, struggling with water ingress into the Citroen in the first stage this morning with this rain. It wasn't just coming through the roof. They've taped up the roof. They've taped all this up to stop the rain coming in, but it's still coming in from somewhere else. Sean, crazy wet. What's it like out there?
That was absolutely insanity. That's not the most fun I've had in a rally car. Oh my god. Yeah, had our first spin in our 5 car on that stage. Don't think we hit anything. We came to a little bit of an abrupt stop, but then fans pushed us. We reversed back into the stage and got going within not so long. But then, yeah, just confidence completely racked, and so much standing water in there. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm glad we're through that one, and not entirely looking forward to it this afternoon. But now we know to take it even easier. I mean, I thought I was cruising, but yeah, no, that was worse conditions than I expected it to be.
Alexei was saying to us, obviously driving the same equipment as you, he was saying that maybe the stage should be scrubbed for this afternoon's run. In your view, what do you make of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is not rallying. This is, I mean, maybe it is, I don't know, but that's I think more dangerous and crazy than it needs to be. That's yeah, the conditions are just insane and super unpredictable. So. Yep.
And have you got?
I would not be disappointed if they cancelled it, but if they run it, of course we'll run it.
Okay, that's good. Sean, thanks very much for the honest words. We appreciate that. Thanks, Sean Johnson, and close the door for him. Alex Kiharani through and on their way. So the first spin for him in an R5 car, regular this season, driving the little R2 car. But he's just trying to work out what's he trying to do there. Is he going to let this BMW out from the right, or is he practicing a practice start? Okay, Eric Size is next up. Look at the R2. Sean's been driving the R2 Peugeot for the most of the season, and using this as a little bit of a prize to himself at the end of the year to drive the R5 car on the last round of the season. Eric Size is here, steamed up inside. Let's see what he has to say. First of all, two-wheel drivers through. Eric, you were saying to me at the first stage this morning that you quite like the muddy, wet and soaking conditions because you've got a roof over your head instead of riding a downhill mountain bike. which you've done in your previous career. What did you make of it for the first time in an R2 in this much water?
The wall stage, it was all aquaplaning. I was trying to be responsible, but it's something extremely difficult in these conditions, and I'm going much slower than yesterday, and I just want to finish this.
Okay, but no problems, no spins, no off the roads in this stage?
No, nothing.
Are you touching teeth or touching wood?
Yeah, because I don't want to spin.
Okay, spin, don't spin. Is that touching wood, is it?
Okay.
Touch whatever you like, I don't mind, as long as it's legal. I don't care. There we go, that's Sean. No, it's not, Eric Size. Well, Paolo's had an issue. Paolo's slight issue. This is the new Evo version of the R5 car. What's that all about? Obviously, it's heavy aquaplaning. That would have caused the problem on this one. I think that bumper's going to be taken off for the road section back. The rest of the car's okay. Paolo, obviously a modified front bumper. I presume that's aquaplaning and pushing the water out of...
For me, for my personal opinion, this special stage is completely no sense. First, because we have tires that are for tarmac. Second, because this special stage specifically is more for one boat than for one car. And so you go out everywhere and these kind of things happen. But who am I to have one opinion? I'm just one Brazilian driver.
Fair enough, you're allowed your opinion, even though you're from Brazil, it's no problem.
Okay.
Hey, thanks Paolo, nice to see you out of the road. A little bit of damage on the front of that car. Tough stage for him as Paolo takes the car off. And there we are, that is Paolo Nobre as the back runners and riders come through here this afternoon. We'll just look at Paolo as he heads off into the distance and on that road section down to the centre of town for the 5-kilometre street stage. We'll be back live this afternoon on Facebook as we wrap up the season and crown a champion. Once we've got the abacus out, worked out the points, worked out what's going to happen, the title contention continues here on the final 3 big stages, on the final round of the season in Hungary. It's between Alexei Lukanuk and Chris Ingram. They're in the fight for it. Lucas Chabai has retired from the rally. He was one of the 3 of the title contenders. He retired yesterday. It's all to play for. Follow us this afternoon on ERC Radio right up until the final stop line of the season. And of course, join us on Facebook later on from this aquaplaning, super fast, super wet, super slippy stage here. We'll be back here hopefully later on this afternoon to wrap up the season. I would tell you what we're going to play out with on Facebook, but unfortunately the phone's broken, so I can't access any information whatsoever. But I'm sure to wrap it all up, we've got an incredible clip for you, which we've prepared in our studio. So producer, press play, but we'll catch you later on as we wrap up the season.
80 левый 1 минус поздний 90. Левый 2 вправо 1 180. Трамплин 160. Левый 0 за трамплин 100 грязь. Левый 2 жир. Правый 2 плюс длиной 30-3 плюс резать грязь. 350. Трамплин 80. Правый 0 через трамплин на левый 0 грунт. 60, правый 1-2 плюс жир. 100 грязь, правый 5. 100. Левый 2 минус поздний грязь. Тире 1 длинный 50. Левый 2 минус 50. Левый 0 чуть длинный. 60. Правый 2-2 минус. 30. Левый 3 минус. Еще длинный блок. На правый 2, на левый 4 плюс. Резать жир. 60. Правый 2 плюс резать на левый 2 плюс. 70. Левый 3 минус. Резать жир. Тире 2 открывается 100. Правый 2 плюс, тире 2 узко. 20. Правый 3 плюс с доворотом. 6. Открывается 60. Левый 4. 30. Правый 1. 30 скользко. Правый 4 поздний. 30 грязь. Левый 7 резать. 70. Трамплин 120 угол. 80 грязь. Правый 5 плюс острый. 300. Правый 5 острый. Бордюр. 300. Дальний трамплин. 30 на левый 0, 200. Жир на торможение. Правый 3 резать на левый 5. Трамплин 50, правый 4, выход скользко. 140. Правый 3 плюс. 200. Левый 1, 120, правый 4, скользко. 2 длинный. 100. Левый 2 минус. Резать жир. 40. Правый 1, левый 1. 500. Левый 3 минус. Острый блок. 300. Левый 2 плюс резать. 120. Правый 4 плюс поздний открывается. 150 прямо. Правый 2 плюс 40. Левый 1 на правый 0, 50. Левый 1, 50. Левый 2 минус длиной 40 с доворотом грязь. Открывается 100. Левый 1 минус поздний, 70 может скользко, левый 3 поздний резать жир на выходе. 200. Правый 3 скользко, не резать в левый 2. 90, левый 4 в ретардер. 30, правый 3 резать. 3 минус. 20. 20, левый 2 минус резать. 70. Левый 2 поздний, грязь. 100 прямо грязь. Левый 6 острый блок, аккуратно. 100 жир, правый 5 острый. 400. Перекресток на трамплине. 250, скользко в конце, правый 5 острый. Резать кривизна. 200. Правый 5 острый, в левый 4. 140. 40, левый 3, на правый 5. На левый 3. Оп. Ничего не было видно, но, по-моему, круто.